You all, I'm so excited. I got to sit down and have a conversation with Kingston. He's our oldest son, and we are going to dive into honoring from all different angles. You're not going to want to miss this. The question you need to ask yourself, or one thing that you're going to glean from this, is when I give honor, I will receive honor. So am I giving honor? Am I receiving honor? You're going to get so much wisdom as you listen in to Kingston and I's conversation. So I'm so excited to be sitting down today with Kingston. He is our oldest son, and on a few podcasts ago, Kent had the privilege of sitting down and having a great conversation with him, and we're just so honored and privileged of the great man that he is becoming. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. And so I'm so excited to be able to sit down and have a conversation with you. We haven't done this. We do have lots of conversations at home.
Conversations. Yeah.
Great conversations. You're very fun to be with and be around, and I love that the relationship that we have, cultivated. It's great. I believe that we have, I believe that we have a great mother and son relationship. But do you agree?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And I love just having like a back and forth and being, just having an open place to communicate and all of that. So yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad. No, when I was so young and raising you guys, I've always said, I want to be, a great mother, but more than that, I want to be able to have lasting relationship with my children. At that point, I didn't know it would be all boys. And so I have all wonderful boys, and I would say that they all love me well, but it started with me loving them well and loving them, personally. I didn't make you have to be like each other. I let you, I believe, be yourselves. Yeah,
and you just really just showed, especially probably over the last 5 or 6 years, just showed, especially me, what having a relationship with the Lord looks like. And so that's super important for everyone, but I think for parents to just walk out having a relationship with the Lord, and you walk that out very well for us. And so, and just watching you have a relationship and watching you and Dad interact and whatever and talk about the Lord and just bringing the Lord into all of the things that you guys do, really just made me want that. And so, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I know I said to the Lord, I remember I was reading in the Word, but I was like, I can't be a different person. And I know, in the good, a lot of times we want to withhold, when we're struggling with things or just going through things away from our children. Not that we tell you everything that's happening, but even in the good times, but even in the hard times, going before the Lord and saying I'm having a difficult time right now. And you've been so gracious. I can remember one time specifically, I was just not on my A game that day. And you were like, Mom, I think you need to go for a run, because that's what I like to do to just encounter the Lord and get right perspective. And I was like, what? I was going to be offended, but then I was like, you're willing to watch the children, so I'm going to go. I'm going to go run, and I came back better. Yeah. But you were able to tell me that, but then you could see that. And that when I went to the Lord in a difficult time, that I always came back better.
It made you better, and in turn made all of us feel better too. Yeah.
True story. So, this is even kind of what we're going to talk about is honor, and honoring your mother, learning how to honor your mother will teach you how to relate and love your future wife. Yeah. And so how would you define honor?
Yeah, so I think that it's just, it just looks like just respecting you guys and valuing, for me, honoring you guys. It just looks like me respecting you guys, but then also just valuing your opinions and what you have to say and things. And so, yeah.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, I think when you value something, then you want to continue to seek out that. So honor is so important, and honor has become, it is a core value that we carry in our house and in our relationships. And honor is a great platform in which to build relationship. It really needs to be like some of the bedrock, because when you value people, then you're gonna go to them, and you're gonna continue to develop relationships. So just share with us some examples how I have given you or showed you honor that has helped you a lot with honor.
Yeah, I think just mainly, like, it's just been that you guys have given me a place to speak and a place to communicate. And I think that one thing that parents sometimes could tend to do is to want to have their kids honor them first. But what you guys did was you honored me. And so really in turn, that made me want to honor you guys. Really and so you guys just opened up a place for me to speak and to have a voice and to be heard and be in like this place of communication. And you guys, just one time I remember I didn't purchase something. I thought I was going to purchase something, and it ended up not working out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just wasted like $250 because I just didn't ask you guys. And I was just trying to do it all on my own. And I was like, oh, this is too good to be true. And it really was. And so then I came back to you guys and was like, well, I screwed this up and whatever. And so then you guys, we talked about it and whatever, and you guys were like, now you know to avoid this thing. But you guys didn't come back and try to like punish me for that thing. In and of itself, losing the $250 was
that was enough.
That was enough punishment.
That was a consequence that you had.
Yeah,
for
and
not
so
seeking wisdom.
yeah, exactly. And because of that experience, it made me want to come to you guys first and be like, what do I do here? Like, because the value or the wisdom that you guys have, the value of it in my life is super important to me.
Yeah, that's so good. So we weren't holding that over your head and making you feel bad or punished because you made a mistake.
Yeah.
And how much that exemplifies, just the Lord. He doesn't ever punish us. We might have a consequence from a mistake, but he's never withholding love. He wants us to run. So that is.
And you guys never did that. Like, you guys never stopped and always continue to be on my side and in my corner and to love me no matter what I do, no matter how bad I mess it up. And so because of that, like, it just makes me want to come to you guys and honor you guys and talk through things with you guys.
And it's not so much that sometimes it's not that you even want us to tell you what to do. You just need a sounding board. And so I think that's so important for part of honor for parents to do, especially as their children are getting older, is that they are just a place where their children can come and talk to them and say, this is kind of what I'm thinking, which it takes a lot of trust in a parent to listen to what it is that your child is saying and then let them make the choice and you not try to control them because you are scared and you're like, no, maybe that's not going to be the right way.
Yeah.
But whenever you have that open communication, you're using us as a sounding board, but then also, and a lot of times I think when you talk it out, sometimes you'll come to your own resolve of like, that probably doesn't sound the best way, and then you'll bring even solution of like maybe this, or we can throw out some other scenarios to you where you're like, oh, okay, I didn't think about that. And I think, that is the plan, and the breakdown between parents, even right now, and their children, is that there's control and there's fear, and that there wants to be a break in relationship because
because they're afraid of what their kids will do or how they'll screw it up. They try to control them, and in turn it makes the child want to rebel against the parent. And so then it creates like this awful thing whenever the parent's trying to make a decision out of fear and not out of honor and love.
Right.
And so I just think it's super important you guys did this. And it wasn't that there were certain things that you guys were like, you can't do this. Like, that's not an option. But you guys on like decisions in my life, buying tires, whatever, all these things. I just did that recently.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
Way to be a big kid or grown up. Like that was a grown up choice to buy tires. Nobody wants to spend money on tires.
Nobody wants to spend money on tires. But I did. And so, but like in that place, Dad was like, these are good tires, like these will be good tires, whatever. All those things, like we had this back and forth, and I was able to come to a decision with him on that thing because like I have this place of honor and respect and communication with you guys.
Yeah, so, that's so great. So honor opens communication. It continues relationship. It helps just things go forward, especially like the goal with raising children to be adults is that they're going to launch well and that you're going to continue your relationship together. It just continues to look different. Like you're becoming I would say you are a man now, and you have things that you are going to be responsible for and will always be here for you, but you're going to have to make those choices for yourself. And if I try to control you at this stage in the game, like you would just run away. And that's what we're seeing like kids do, is just run away because they want freedom. And we were made to be free, but it's good to have sound counsel and wisdom, because you don't know everything. And then, one thing that I heard is that you can save time whenever you when you learn from somebody else's mistakes.
Right, which I'm super thankful to get to learn from all your guys' mistakes.
Thank you. So, I'm glad they could benefit you, because they did not benefit me.
Yeah, and then like because we can communicate and talk about things, like I don't have to go through those mistakes. And because you're not fearful that I'll make those same mistakes, and you're telling me things out of love and out of honor to me, then I want to take the things that you guys have to say and put them to practice in my life. And obviously there's always going to be things that I mess up and whatever, mostly because I probably don't take your guys' advice. but just always, I get to always be at that place to where I have you guys and want to take your advice and the things you have to say, because you honor me. And as like a man, that's super important to me, is that you guys honor me, and you do. And so because of that, I want to keep coming back to you for the wisdom that you guys have.
That's awesome. So with all of this, how do you think these different examples, or this honor, how will it translate, or how can it translate for you and your future spouse and your relationship with your wife one day?
I just think that being willing to, there's a couple things. One thing is that I don't want to like hide things from you guys, because you never come to me out of, you never come back to me with punishment. There's consequences for things that you do or things that happen, but you guys never come back and try to like punish me for the thing, especially at this stage in my life, for the thing that I did, but you come back with love and honor and like welcome me into your guys' arms and whatever all the time. And so it built trust. And so I think that with future spouse or whatever, that it will build, we'll already have like that thing of trust, because I won't want to hide things from them out of fear of rejection or hurt or whatever, because I've already seen that from you guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
that's
so
good. That is solid wisdom right there. When you start a relationship with this foundation, you are going to be able to go so far.
Yeah.
And have great things,
Yeah.
great fruit from your marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. And because too, I see the things that maybe I tried to hide or whatever that don't ever turn out good at all.
It doesn't turn out
because
good.
it always talks about in the Bible, how like, your sin will find you out and whatever, and darkness comes to light and all of those things.
Yeah.
And so then I've learned to just take things to the Lord, but then also that I can just bring things to you guys. And because we have, you guys honor me, and because we have a trust between us.
Yeah, trust is so important.
Yeah, and so I think that trust is a huge thing that I'll be able to just take into a marriage and start it off like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Building with honor from honor. So you're going to say one other thing about honor.
Yeah.
Into your future.
Yeah. I think that too, I get to value my spouse's opinion. And for me, my wife, seeing you honor me and whatever, and I value your opinion. And so I get to bring that into a relationship and get to not just whatever they say, I get to value their opinion. And because I've seen you, because I see the fruit of your and Dad's relationship and marriage, I want that same thing, and you really honor him and honor what he's saying. But in turn, because you do that, then he really takes and values what you have to say to him. And so I want that same thing in my life and in my marriage. So
in order to have honor, you have to give honor. Honor goes both ways. It goes to the other person, and then usually when it's given, it's reciprocated.
Yeah.
That's a big word. So that's so important. That I love that you said that you have seen me honor your father, and how because of that honor, it's unlocked great communication where we can have back and forth, where it's not about one person being right or wrong, but it's about coming to the best conclusion. And then, we sometimes as humans, we can't see the entire picture by ourselves. We need other people. We need relationships, especially people that we trust, we respect, and we value to be able to speak to those blind spots in our life. And if we don't have this foundation of honor, then we're going to we can miss some of those blind spots.
Miss a lot of wisdom from people.
Yes, and your spouse is, partly you're marrying them because you love them, but it's because you also value what they bring to the relationship. So thank you so much for just taking time to sit down and have this conversation with me. It's really great. So honor. Yeah. Honor is key. And mothers out there and fathers, parents, honor your children and watch how as you're honoring them, they will reciprocate back to you the same honor that you give to them.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening in on this conversation. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and write a review. Share with your friends and on your socials. For more information about Ward Ministries, check out wardmen.org. If this podcast is encouraging you on your marriage and family, we want to hear about it. Email us at info@wardmen.org, and make sure you keep your eye out weekly for the latest podcast on marriage and family.